Hello, everyone. Welcome, everybody. This is Kia Kelly. If you're watching on the replay, just type replay in the comments. It's going to let me know you're watching this on the replay because we're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok right now. I do have a cat right here. So at any point in time, she's going to get up and yeah. But let's go ahead and welcome everybody in. So I'm trying to make sure I can see all of my screens. So I have okay, Maui. All right, you're gonna go? Sorry, there's a cat like right there. See the tail? Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome. Okay, she's not going. She's gonna end up unplugging my mic too. Hold on guys, let me get my Instagram comments all set up. All right, so we got my Instagram comments set up because I am using a software that's called Ecamm. And Ecamm allows me to go live on multiple platforms all at one time. But when you do that, you kind of lose the comment section. So you have to have multiple screens kind of set up that allow you to see all your comments. So I'm just making sure I can see everybody's comments. But welcome everybody. Welcome. Glad you guys are here. We're going to talk a little bit about consistency and helping you guys to be able to do better with content creation, no matter what it is that you do. And so I am here today to chat with you guys. I'm trying to be more consistent with my live streams. I normally go live like every day. I did that for a long time. And I'm trying to get my flow back together. Thank you so much for all the likes on TikTok. I appreciate that so much. So I'm trying to get back to doing my regular live streams with you guys, but it's not always easy because when you run a business, there's all the different things with business, and live stream requires you to kind of shut down everything and then focus. So welcome guys. I'm glad that you guys are here. All right. So today we're having a conversation about consistency. If you guys would do me a favor, hold on. Let me see. I think my cat unplugged my mic. Let me see. She did. Back together. Okay, there we go. The audio's better, right? Did the audio change for you guys? Usually when she sits up here, she ends up unplugging my mic. So I think she did that, but I think it's back. I think it's back now. Is the audio better for you guys? Let me know. All right. I forgot what I was saying. One of the things that I wanted to just come on here and talk to you guys about is about consistency and helping you guys with content creation. So we're going to start off today's conversation talking about consistency, and then we'll go wherever else that we want to go. Okay. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate it. All right. So for those of you all, and this is your very first time watching me on a live stream, say hi in the chat. Just say hi. I'm curious. If you are watching this on TikTok, do me a favor. The more that you tap your screen and give likes, the more TikTok pushes this video out on the For You page. And so TikTok loves when we have a lot of people that are engaging, and so that's the best way you can help the live stream is if you can engage in that way. Okay. So for those of you guys that don't know a lot about me, I'm a social media strategist. I've been teaching TikTok, Instagram, social media for the last 5 years. And I've actually been online since 2016. So next year, it'll be 10 years since I have been online. So I didn't get started 5 years ago. I got started a long time ago. So I have been building an online business since 2016, learning and evolving with everybody else. But I started teaching video marketing, like TikTok marketing, Instagram marketing, back in 2020. Okay. Because I had a design agency and I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I was just like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to focus on what I am really good at doing. Let me just focus on that, And so fast forward, we have been able to, build a very successful business. We've been able to build a large following, but more importantly, we've been able to work with a lot of business owners, helping them with their businesses. And so when I'm coming on here today, I'm coming on talking from the place of everything I'm going to talk to you guys about, I'm doing myself, okay? That I have to hold myself accountable to today. And specifically today, we are talking about consistency. So first things first is I want to ask you guys, how many of you guys struggle with consistency when it comes to you creating content? Who here would say, I struggle with consistency, okay? Me right now, I would say I struggle with consistency with my live streams. Okay. I used to do live streams all the time, right? And then now I've been struggling with live streams for the last 2 years because, when you build a business, then things get really, 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 really busy. Okay. And so when things get busy, you end up like dropping certain things to focus on certain things, and I've been very fairly inconsistent with live stream. I've still been consistently posting videos, right, and then showing up in that way, but not as consistent when it comes to live stream. Okay, so some of you guys said, "Yep, you struggle with consistency." Okay, so I want you guys to tell me, when it comes to the struggles you're having with consistency, what specifically is it that you are struggling with when it comes to consistency? Are you having trouble with coming up with content, struggling with creating the content, editing the content, posting the content? Like, what is the actual struggle that you guys have? And we'll navigate that. So one of the things that I know about us is, whether you are a content creator who's trying to make it as like an influencer, or you are a business owner who creates content, that creating content online is one of the number one ways that you reach an audience. Okay, if you're a content creator, if you're utilizing video to build an audience, to then sell something, you may be selling a physical product, a digital product, or selling yourself as an influencer. We all have to create content when it comes to organic. Okay. Now, obviously, if you pay for ads and you're running ads, you don't have to worry about that, right? But if you're using organic as a strategy, then you have to create content, okay? Now, one of the things that I know about that is, one of the reasons that people struggle to create content is because we don't really value what it is that we are creating. Oh, thank you. We don't really value what it is that we're creating, or the outcome that we think we can have with the particular content, right? I'll give you an example. So when I first started creating content online, I didn't really think that anybody wanted to hear from me. Okay. If you can relate, just type "I can relate." I didn't think anybody wanted to hear from me. I felt like I know something, but it doesn't mean other people want to watch me. Okay. And that doesn't mean that people are going to find what I have to say is valuable. And then when I have what I want to create, like, I don't know if people are going to see what I offer as valuable and also want to buy it. Right. So I had the struggle with like choosing to create content because I didn't believe that anybody would want to watch anything that I filmed and that I posted. Right. And that kept me from creating content for a while. If you can relate to that, just type "I can relate." Okay. Thank you guys so much for saying you can relate. And then when I actually posted the content and people were not watching it, right? I would post it and nobody would really watch the content that I was posting. I would get 100 views, maybe I would get 200 views, and then that was it. I would get the views, nobody would engage, and then nobody would buy. And because I was dealing with that struggle, I found myself saying, well, I don't want to create, right? So it's like, I already don't want to create. I don't believe in what I'm trying to create. And then when I do create and I do post, nobody is engaging in my content, right? Who can relate to that? If you say that's me, just type "me," right? And I think that a lot of people who are creating content online or trying to create content online have that struggle, right? And so that is one of the reasons why people don't actually create. Okay. So I'll give you a present example. So I'm on multiple platforms. I have LinkedIn, I have YouTube, I have TikTok, I have Instagram and Facebook, right? Right now for me, when I post content on LinkedIn, nobody pays attention. Okay. Right now, well, when I first started my second account on TikTok, nobody was paying attention. Nobody would watch my videos, nobody would engage, and nobody would follow me on my second account on TikTok. Okay, I have a new one. The first one is called Kenya Kelly, my main one. And the second one is called Kenya Kelly Brand. That's just me being more of a content creator and influencer, my life and all that type of stuff. Nobody was watching that content. Nobody cared about that content. And so when I first started it a year ago, I was like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch this. So I was like, nobody cares, right? And it caused me to be super inconsistent with that account because I didn't believe that anybody cared about the content because they were showing me by how they were not engaging, right? But then I had this moment, right? Because obviously I teach people how to create content online. I teach people how to sell. I teach people how to present, so on and so on. So I said to myself, okay, Kenya, let's look at your second account on TikTok like you were working with your clients, right? What would you tell your clients? One of my cats just farted. Terrible. Oh my God, it's terrible. It's just terrible. Any of y'all have animals or have cats? Like when they poop in that box or fart, it's just like, my Lord. So it's like an odor. But I have a cat right here. I'm pretty sure she just farted. Okay. Anyway, I just had to say that out loud because I was like, woo, child, what's going on? Okay. All right. So I decided, I said, let me look at my second account on TikTok like I am my own client. And I was like, what would I tell myself if I was my own client? I would say, Kenya, post twice a day. Post once in the morning and post one in the evening. And just do it consistently. Like, don't really think about it. I would say, Kenya, don't look at the views. Just do it. Right? And so I said, okay. So then I went on a cruise in December for Christmas by myself. And I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to document my entire cruise experience for 7 days and showcasing a single traveler on a cruise for Christmas. I said, all right, we're going to do this as if I am a full-time influencer. Right? Now, remember, nobody was paying attention to that account. Okay. And so every day, I would wake up and I would put on my outfit for the day and I would film it. And then I would film myself walking through the hallway. I would film myself going into the elevator because every day on the elevator, they would show you Tuesday, Wednesday, a little sign. And I would film that when I went into the elevator and I would film parts of my day. I would always film me with my mocktail, my strawberry, my virgin strawberry daiquiri. And I would just film. And then I would edit it the next morning and then I would post it. Right? And I would just go about my day. And I was like, Kenya, nobody cares on this account. Just act like you already have a big following, right? So I would post that video at the beginning of the day, and then I would post another one around whatever else it was, like maybe a trend or something at the end of the day, right? And what ended up happening is one of those videos started to pick up steam. People started to be interested, right? And so I had a series. of 7 days of this, and this, right? I'll be on a cruise. And so one video started to pick up steam. So then the second video started picking up steam. So then people started to be interested in that 7-day journey. And that account went from 7,000 followers to 20,000 before I ever got off the cruise ship. Right? 7 days, right? And I said, okay. So then once I got off the cruise ship, now I'm back to real life, right? So now I got my business, I got my main accounts or whatever. So then I said, okay, we're going to focus, but we're going to do one video a day. And Kenya, what are you going to create content around? I was like, Kenya as a person, Kenya dating in Houston, menopause, skincare, Kenya, just all things Kenya. You're going to create content as if these people know you and they love you and all they want to do is be a part of your life, right? And so I would, every time I put on an outfit and was going outside, I was filming an outfit of the day. Listen, my outfits of the day are not fancy. I am so Target. Okay, I am such a Target person and I'm learning fashion. I don't have it yet. I'm learning it at 43. Okay, what's this? Okay. And so I was like, but I'm just going to post this, right? And then every time I go to a speed dating event, I'm going to tell them I'm going to a speed dating event, right? And I kept doing that and I kept doing that and kept doing that. Okay. As of today, let me see, that account is sitting at, let me see. I think we're at 46,000. Let me see. Yeah, we're sitting at 46,300 followers on that second account. And I started taking it seriously in December. Okay. And now that account is making me about $1,000 a month. right? Just as content creation, right? A bunch of brands have reached out. They've sent me all these different products, all this stuff, right? Since creating that account, being consistent with it, right? And so $1,000 a month is a lot of money, right? When I look at $1,000, that pays for my it pays for who my tech team. It pays for a whole bunch of stuff in my business. It pays for $1,000 a month, right? And so now that's there, right? And it's also taught me a lot as an influencer, because my main content has been teaching people social media, all the type of stuff. But when I started creating content as an influencer, my brain went from just Kenya, the content creator as a business owner, to Kenya, content creator as an influencing business owner, right? And so now the way that I look at it, I'm like, okay, everything gets better through consistency. And I say that all the time, but I just lived it again with my new account. Okay. Me choosing to learn is what helped me. Okay. Now hold on one second. TikTok, can I still see you guys? Hold on. Let me check real quick. I'm seeing like TikTok is like buffering or whatever. Hold on one second. So I'm streaming on all the platforms. But on my phone, TikTok was buffering. Okay. All right. Make sure y'all still can see me. Okay. I think y'all can see me. Okay. I'm pretty sure y'all can still see me, but I'm not seeing it all on my screen. Okay. All right. So what am I here to talk to you guys about today? I'm here to talk to you guys about consistency. Okay. I'm here to tell you that if your goal is to become a better content creator, if your goal is to be able to make more money for your business using social media, then one of the things that's going to have to happen is we have to find a way to be consistent, okay? Like consistent. So I have a community. It's called Invisible to Influential. I'm not selling it right now. And I was talking to them about content pillars. I taught them all about content pillars 2 weeks ago. So then I just talked to them about series. And I said, okay, everybody is going to create a series. Thank you, Felita. Everybody's going to create a series. And then you're going to start creating a series of videos in that series, right? So I have a new series on my new account on TikTok, and it's called I'm going to become a beauty influencer. So it's like every day I say, today is day 8 of becoming a beauty influencer. Today is day 9 of becoming a beauty influencer. And I'm just walking them through the things that I'm doing to become a beauty influencer, right? What does that mean for me? That means I'm 43 years old. I'm trying to figure out what in the world is going on with beauty, how to do the things that all the girls do with their makeup, hair, and all the type of stuff. And that's the series. So people are watching me go along through this series, right? Right now, the series is boring because I'm on day 8. We'll see what happens on day 30 or day 90 or however it long takes me before I become a beauty influencer, right? But on my main account, okay, I am starting a new series called CapCut for Beginners. Okay, because I understand that one of the ways people are going to have the most success with their content is they've got to do better with their edits. Okay, so you can film great content, but your editing, it has to come up a little bit, because with so many people creating content online, we've got to do things that separate us from other people. Right? We just have to, right? And so I'm starting a new series that's called CapCut for Beginners. All right. What is that going to do? That's going to draw all these people who don't know CapCut for beginners, right? Now, as a business, that's helpful because in my courses and as a consultant, I not only help them with beginner things, but I help them become experts and make more money. So I'm using that as a way to serve my audience. It's helping me be consistent because I have a theme, which is CapCut for Beginners. And then when I'm drawing the right people to me, I'm able to take them through the journey. Okay. And again, the series of me becoming a beauty influencer, that holds me accountable to in the mornings when I'm getting ready. If I'm trying out a new thing or whatever, I'll say it's day 9 of me becoming a beauty influencer. And today we are going to try this thing here. Right. So one of the things that I tried was this new vitamin C serum. Right. That's one of my things. Right. Last night, becoming a beauty influencer, I let them see me twist my hair. Right. Okay. Tonight, I may say it's day 9 of becoming a beauty influencer. Get unready with me. Let me show you what I do to prepare for nighttime, right? And then I may show them me putting the oils on my face that gets my makeup off, the face wash I use, the rose water thing. I'll show them all the little things, right, of what I'm doing as a beauty influencer, right? And what is that doing? It's just connecting me to people, right? But it's also got me consistent, hey Keisha, with the series, okay? Now, one of the things to know about the most successful people that create content online, whether it is as an influencer or as a business, is that the people that are the most consistent are the ones that win. It's not people who are the greatest. It's not people who have the greatest edits, who have the greatest anything, okay? I watched somebody go from 6,000 followers to 1 million followers in a year. 6,000 to 1 million. And when I was evaluating that person's content, I said, the person keeps things very simple. The person has figured out exactly what content resonates with their audience, and they keep doing it over and over and over again. It may be different topics and done different ways, but it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And that person doesn't have to go and do this. It doesn't have to go and do this. It doesn't have to go and do this. But that person focused, right? And they said, what is working well? What works well for my personality? And guess what? From 7,000 to 1 million followers to millions of dollars in their business in 1 year. But what happened? That person became consistent with their way of doing things. And then a video hit 80 million views, and then bam, and bam, 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 bam. So what am I trying to tell you this good afternoon? Is that if you want to have some level of success, one major thing is going to be your consistency. Major is going to be your consistency, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've lost 16 pounds, right? And one of the things that I'm doing to lose 16 pounds is I'm drinking lots of water, right? I got my electrolytes. I'm eating differently. I take a protein shakes in the morning. I don't normally do none of that stuff. I have my little shake with all this stuff that I put in it. Drink that joker, okay? I eat hard-boiled eggs, turkey bacon. I have never liked arugula a day in my life. I have arugula every single day. And I've lost 16 pounds. My body is like, yes, right? And so the next thing that I'm focused on is toning. So I'm like, yes, 16 pounds, that's great. Our goal is 50, but let's also be skinny and fit, right? Let's be skinny and fit, right? And I know that that's only going to happen through consistency. People ask me all the time, how are your teeth so white? Listen, I did not grow up in a household where people whiten their teeth. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna have pretty teeth, I gotta do some things. And I listen, Tom's toothpaste whitening, almost my whole life. Tom's, right? And that's what I do to like for that to make that happen. Okay, so for you guys, what I'm saying, all of us, if we're gonna have success with content creation online and with our businesses, one of the things we have to learn is the art of consistency. Now, how do we make ourselves be consistent? You have to set yourself up for success, okay? I'll give you an example. So one of the things that I had to do in my life to get healthier, thanks for following, is to take vitamins, right? I saw this very expensive doctor when I was in California, and she did all these tests on me and said, Kenya, you are missing out on this, these vitamins, all low. And so she's like, I'm going to put it in a system. You order them. Very expensive. Good God Almighty. But you only get one life. You only get one body. So I said, okay, I'm going to be more consistent with taking care of my health. It was a journey because here are all these pills I need to take, right? And at first I was taking them all at one time and they made me sick. And I was like, okay, can't do that. So then I was like, okay, how do I do this? So then I said, okay, I'm going to take out the pills every morning, right? The first thing in the morning. And I'm going to take out what I take for the day. I'm going to sit it on my counter and I'm going to put them in half, right? I'm going to eat breakfast and I'm going to eat half of the pills, right? And then at lunchtime, I'll eat the other half. right? And so then what started to happen was I would forget to do the other half because I would be in my office. So now what I do is the first part of it, as soon as I do that in the mornings, what I do is I get my pills out and I bring them all into the office, right? So I've already taken all my pills for today except my calcium and my regular meds. Like it's right here, right? And so I sit it here on my desk. So when I finish my breakfast, I eat half of my pills. When I have my lunch, I eat half of my pills. Right? I say eat, but y'all know what I mean, right? And that has helped me be consistent, right? Then I was like, okay, I got to do better with my sleep. So then I bought the Oura Ring. And this is telling me so much about when I eat bad, when I sleep bad, when I do all these different things. And it's caused me to be more consistent with doing the right things for my health. Right? So then when it comes to being consistent with content creation, one of the things I had to do was set an alarm, right? So my phone has like 4 alarms that go off every day, right? 4. And they're mainly for drinking water. Drink some water and eat something, right? I'm like, drink water, eat something, right? But when I was first trying to be consistent with content creation, the alarms that were going off would say film content. And at first I would just turn the alarm off and just wouldn't think about it. Right? But over time, when I kept getting that alarm, let me get my water. When I kept getting that alarm, I was like, okay, so I need to build some content. But I had to set things to like talk to me. Things had to tell me, do this, do that. Right? So I'm in menopause, right? And I needed hormone replacement, right? Because like when you're in menopause, no estrogen, everything just goes bananas, right? And so there's this little patch I had to put on my butt every Monday and every Thursday. That's something new for me. So guess what I did? So I took the patches and they sit on my counter every day. They never leave, right? And they're always there. So on Monday nights, I'm like, oh yeah, my patch. And I put it on my bum, right? And then on Thursday, I'm like, oh, I'm put it on my bum. Right now, it's a reminder, right? I have these little reminders that are telling me, hey, do this thing, right? Like my protein shakes. Listen, on my counter, if you would say, girl, you got so much stuff on your counter. I really don't, but I do. On my counter, there is OWN protein powder. There is, what's over there? Probiotic, prebiotic. There is, what's that stuff about? Creatine is on my counter. Benefiber. Collagen and something else. They're all sitting there right on the counter, right? Why are they there? Because in the mornings, when it's time to get ready for the day, I need to see that stuff sitting right there. So the first thing I do, I get my little shaker, I pour my little almond milk in the thing, pour all the stuff in there, shake them up, drink. But why do I do that? It's a reminder. Right? It's a reminder to get me to do the thing that I need to do. Okay. So what is that for you? In my office, my little lights are always set up. They're not always on, but they're always set up. What is that doing? It's reminding me this is the place where you got to create content. Right? So for you, you may not have a second bedroom and that creates content, right? But what you probably need to do is have some alarms that go up on your phone to remind you to do the thing that you want to do. How many of you guys are saying you want to be better at creating content, either as a content creator or as a business owner? That you know if you were consistent, you could have a lot of success. If that's you, just type me, right? It's all of us, right? If we would learn and put these things in place to help us be consistent, we would really crush it. Like really, I'm watching people just crush it because they're just showing up and they're being consistent. Okay. Not because they're perfect, right? Because the one thing I know is this. I just followed somebody on TikTok the other day and her content is amazing. The edits on her videos is amazing, but she's not consistent. Right? Listen, if she was creating one video a day, she would be at millions of followers, millions. And I was like, why isn't this person there? And I said, oh, it's because they're not consistent. But I'm like, the content that is there, I'm like, I'm here for it. Right? But they would be crushing it if they were consistent. Okay. So again, this is not about everything being perfect. This is about being consistent. Okay. How many of you guys know that if you're consistently walking every single day, 30 minutes a day, you're going to lose weight? If you consistently lift weights every single day, just a little bit every single day, guess what's going to happen? You're going to tone up. It's just the way that it goes, right? If you consistently go out there on dates and to meet your special someone, what's going to happen? You're going to eventually meet your special someone. Why? Because of the consistency of doing a thing, right? And so that's what I wanted to come on here today and talk to you about, because I know the power of what has happened for me. Nothing in my life has been perfect. Nothing of what I've done has been perfect. I've just been consistently doing it. And the more that I do it, the better I am getting at it, and the better, the more people that I'm able to reach. Okay. Okay. So I want to open up for some questions. We're here live. We're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I want to open up and I want to answer some of y'all's questions, okay? But also, for those of you all that are saying to yourself, I want to do really well with my content, right? I want you guys to join me. You guys can see that link on the screen. I'm hosting a 3-day TikTok challenge where I'm going to be teaching every single day how to create amazing content on TikTok for your business, okay? We're going to be talking about the TikTok algorithm. We're going to be talking about content strategies. And then I'm going to be actually reviewing content and giving strategic tips on some of you guys' content during the challenge, okay? Now, I only do this challenge once a year, right? This is the one time and it's done, okay? And it's 3 days. It's this coming Monday. So it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. CST, and it's only $7 total, okay? Not $7 every day. It's $7 total, okay? And I'm going to teach you what I have been doing the last 5 years to have success on TikTok, and what my clients are doing to have success on TikTok, okay? And listen, everything that I'm going to teach you about TikTok, you can apply it to Instagram. You can apply it to Facebook Reels. You can apply it to whatever short video platform you want to apply it to. Hold on. Let me see. TikTok. There we go. I don't know what there's some internet issues happening. Okay. All right. But let's do some questions. What kind of questions you guys have? Let me see. Hey, Keandra. I didn't see you there. Hey, Jamar. Oh, look at Jamar Price. What's up? That's so cool. Oh, shoot. What happened? Oh, sorry. All right. Remove from broadcast. I don't know how he got added to the broadcast. I don't know. It's like there's these little buttons that are popping up on Ecamm, and I see everybody. All right. Questions. What question you guys have? I don't see any questions. Let me see. I'm on my TikTok down here. Okay. Questions. I know there's always a delay when you ask people to ask questions, but I want to open up for questions about consistency, content marketing, or whatever. I did tell you guys that last time I discovered the sound effects on this on Ecamm, and I want to find them again. Where are they? Oh no, I lost them. Oh, thanks, Courtney. I don't see them. Okay. I don't know what happened to the sound effects. Sound effects. Okay. No questions? I'm surprised you guys don't have any questions. Maybe I taught too much and now you don't have any questions. Where are those sound effects? I had them last time. I don't know where they are. Oh, I found them. Yay, I found them. All right. Come on. Let's go. Let's do some questions, you guys. Let's see. What questions you guys got? How can I help you guys with content creation, with TikTok, with Instagram? How can I help you guys? Faceless theme pages. So I don't have any experience with faceless pages, unfortunately. So I can't quite assist you with that. I know there's a lot of people that do them, but I don't have any experience with them. I watch the content on them, but I don't really know. I don't really have any tips because I don't teach it. Hey, Marisol. I'm so sorry. Other questions. Will you be covering mindset of a consistent person? So inside the challenge, I won't cover mindset. Because most people, when they join the challenge, they want tactical. They want me to tell them, do this, do this, do that. So I don't cover mindset in the challenge. But what's your question about the mindset of a consistent person? So we can talk about that now. Because in the challenge, people are going to be like, we don't want that. People want tactical when they join. But when I think about the mindset of a consistent person, That is a person who says, here is what my goal is, and here's what I'm willing to do. Here's what I'm willing to set up and put in place in order to be consistent, right? So, like, when I think about somebody who is consistent and chooses to be consistent, that person has made a decision, right? That person has decided this is no longer working. And if I'm going to get what it says that I want to get, I've got to change what I'm currently doing. Right. So for me, when it came to, because I was one weight, I went through divorce, lost weight, gained a bunch of weight. Then I had a bunch of tumors in my body, had to have surgery. My body trying to heal from surgery, gained a bunch of weight. And then I got to this highest point and I said, okay, my body is healed now. I'm tired of being this size. I'm tired of feeling how I feel. I've got to make some changes to get to the body that I want to get to. And so I made a decision. I'm going to invest. And so I invested in my doctor. One I had to pay out of pocket. Then that doctor saying, I need you to get on this regimen, and then choosing to invest the money to get on that regimen. I didn't want to spend it, but I did. And then choosing to drink and eat the things that this person told me to do, and be consistent at it. Right. So I don't know about you guys, but Chili's has got the greatest, like, little wing thing. They're called the honey chipotle chicken crispers, their corn elote, that ranch dressing, superb. Wingstop has got the greatest fries and the greatest ranch dressing, superb. Okay. I love Pizza Hut pizza. Okay. With hot sauce. But every time I keep wanting to go to Chili's and I keep wanting to go to this place and do this and this, I keep looking at, but I really, really, really want to get my body back. Right. I'm not used to being this size. I'm used to being this size. Not this size down here. I'm used to being this size. And if I am going to go from this size to this size, I got to make some decisions, right? And so I keep talking to myself, right? Like, I went to the grocery store the other day and I love potato chips. I mean, my Lord. But I was just like, we are not going to get potato chips. We're not, right? And I started going, okay, what things can I do? When I have these moments, what can I grab? And I started eating these seaweed chips, right? And I was like, I don't know about them. But I got them and they're like, here's my salty thing. When I have that ache, when I want potato chips, I eat seaweed chips, right? Super helpful. Then in the refrigerator, I never used to eat cherry tomatoes, ever. But one day I was like, okay, let me get the tomatoes. I put them in a bowl. And then one day I went in the fridge and I ate one tomato and I was like, I kind of like that. Then I got these little jerkies and I started eating a jerky with a tomato. I was like, I'm kind of like that. So I started adding these little things that would help me not have potato chips. But the mindset thing, I had to talk to myself, and I have to always talk to myself because I want to have these certain things, but I also want to get my body back. So when it comes to content creation and what I want for my business, I have to talk to myself and say, hey, you don't have to post content today. You don't have to. But if you plan it and you execute it, what you want will be there, right? Like when I'm creating all of my different accounts on social media, right? I always have to go, okay, why am I doing this? And what is going to be the end goal result? What's going to happen when I do that? And I had to keep telling myself, this is where this is going. Right? So if people see me today and they go, you got 38,000 on Instagram, 500,000 on TikTok here, 46,000 here, 34,000 on Facebook, 8,000 on YouTube, 9,000 on Threads. How did all that happen? It's because I keep making this conscious decision. I just keep making this decision that I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do it. Right? But that's a conscious thing. It's not like I'm just like every day I'm just like, I'm going to create content. No. I constantly am talking to myself, telling myself this and telling myself that, right? And that is what the successful people do, right? Because not everybody always wants to wake up at 4 a.m., go to the gym and do all that stuff y'all see them do. No, they just keep making decisions over and over and over again. Let me see. What's the minimum amount of time to post content to grow your channel? Once a day? Minimum? Yes, once a day. If you're talking about YouTube, it's once a week. But if you're talking about other content, it's once a day. And the truth be told, we can actually batch create content, right? So this weekend, I'm not doing anything on Saturday. I'm planning to create a series of content on Saturday because I'm like, that's when I have the most amount of times. That's typically when I batch create my content is on Saturdays, right? I'll like get dressed for the morning, film a bunch of content, and then I'll go play outside and hang out with people, right? But I make sure that I get that done because it's like during the week, something's going to come up. Something's going to come up during the week because it always does. Let me see. How do you create content? Kimberly Joe, I can't see your full question. How do you, no. So here's what I see, Kimberly. I see, how do you create content? F. How do you combine? I keep pressing prematurely. Yes. Yes. K. Oh my God. I love that phrase. We have to keep making the promise. We have to keep our promises to ourselves. That's it. You have to keep the promise to yourself because it's just you against you. That's it. Right? That's it. Marisol, Kenya has helped me visualize my content strategy to enjoy being a creator. Yes, girl. Let's go, girl. Okay. Let me see. More questions. Do you think it would make a difference to have the weekends off? Well, most people do. Okay. The worst day of the week to post content on is Friday and Saturday. Okay, because people are ready for the weekend on Fridays and then they're outside on Saturdays. Okay, so if you took Saturday and Sunday off or Friday and Saturday off, no big deal. Like it's perfectly okay, right? Most times I don't post on Fridays and Saturdays or Saturdays and Sundays, but I definitely try to make sure I post every day during the week because of people's behavior. And people's behavior is like they're outside. And so why am I going to post my best content when people aren't paying attention? You know what I mean? More questions. Let me see. I don't see any more questions anywhere. Okay, more questions. Again, I already know that all you guys know that you've got something you want to create. You've got content that you want to create. You've got some kind of goals you want to create. And one of the things that's keeping you from that is one is consistency and maybe it's strategy, right? And if you're someone and you're saying, I want more strategy, then I would encourage you to join us for our 3-day challenge, okay? There's a link here on the screen and you can join us for that challenge, okay? Now, if you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on Instagram, if you type the word challenge, our chat bot will send you a link to join the 3-day challenge, okay? But that's only on Facebook and that's only on Instagram, okay? If you're watching and you're on YouTube or you're on LinkedIn or TikTok, you got to go to the link on the screen. Now, the link is obviously in my bio, okay? Or you guys can just send me a DM and I'll send you the link, okay? Like on TikTok, you guys, there's a link actually on the, there's like a little arrow on the screen on TikTok. If you tap that, you can send me a DM or you guys literally can just go to the link on the screen, okay? It's literally $7 to work with me for 3 straight days. Okay, it's called a 3-day TikTok marketing challenge where I'm going to teach all about the algorithm. I'm going to teach about content creation, and then we're going to review content live during the challenge. Okay, and it's $7 to join. That's it. It's not $21 like every day $7. No, it's one time $7, and it starts Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. CST live. If you miss the live call, you'll get the replays. Okay. Any other questions? I don't see. Oh, you're welcome. No questions. Instagram. I made sure. Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry, Instagram. I couldn't see the questions. Let me go back. How do you show up and figure out hold on. How do you show up and figure out what your audience wants to see? So one of the things that you have to, I'm so sorry, Instagram. It did not show me all that. So when it comes to figuring out what your audience wants to see, before you figure out what your audience wants to see, you have to determine what kind of content you want to create, right? So me as a business owner, I teach people video marketing strategies. So I determine what type of content I'm going to put out there, what it's going to be about. And that's called the content pillars, okay? On my second account, my Kenya Kelly account, where I'm just being Kenya or whatever, I still decide what content I'm going to create. I don't let my content be dictated by people on the platform. Because if you do that, then you'll get into this hole of doing what everybody else wants you to do and not what you want to do. If you are a business, then you have what you offer as a business, and you should create content pillars, which is like 3 or 4 main topics that you create content around that help sell your offer. Okay. And so then once you know that, then you start to create content. Well, you start to, sorry, you start to break down your content pillars even more into like individual little topics, and then you start to create. And then from there, you'll start to evaluate what your audience is responding to. But you have to decide the main, like you have to decide the core. You can't let outside forces determine the core. You decide the core based upon what your goals are. So Kenya, the business owner, my core is video marketing, Instagram, TikTok, video marketing, right? Kenya, the content creator, the influencer, is just Kenya. Things Kenya likes talking about, Kenya's dealing with, whatever. I don't talk about what everybody else wants me to talk about. I talk about what I want to talk about on that account. Does that make sense? Let me see. How many accounts can you have on TikTok? You can have as many as you want on TikTok. Not a fan of having my personal account. Yeah, so I have 3. I have 4. I only use 2, but I have 4 accounts on TikTok, and it's just fine. Are you talking about reels once a day or different things? So if you're trying to grow an account on Instagram, the best thing you can do is have at least 1 video a day on reels, 1 video a day on TikTok, you know? How do you, oh, I did that already. Okay. All right. So if you guys want to join, again, our 3-day TikTok marketing challenge, it's $7. Okay. Those of you guys that are watching on Instagram or watching on Facebook, if you type the word challenge, our chat bot will send you a DM. Okay. Our chat bot will send you a DM and give you the link, or the link is here on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, anywhere else, y'all can join the challenge here. I'm going to be teaching on the algorithm, content creation strategies, all that. Any other questions? Let me see. You paid $7 already. Okay, girl. We're glad you're here. School affiliate. Okay. Any other questions? Now that I can see Instagram's comments. That was a user error. I think my mouse was sitting on it, so it didn't let Instagram scroll until I clicked it and was like, oh shoot. Any other questions? Any other questions going once? Any questions going twice? Sold. Okay. All right, guys. So it is 5:00. I'm going to wrap up my day with finishing my work, checking my emails, and then I'll probably come back and talk to you guys again tomorrow. But I would strongly encourage you all, if you all been saying to yourself, Kenya, I would love to work with you. I want you to coach me with your strategies. $7, you can join the challenge. I'm not getting rich off the challenge. Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. But you can join, and that's the link on the screen. The link is also in my bio for you guys to join. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I will see you guys on the next one. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.